Hello, beautiful angels. It's always an honor to be here with you. Just so excited to be here in service, all of us, to this beautiful creation. And so yesterday we had a big revelation of Shakti in Shiva. And so we'll continue with the energies. Today we'll talk for about half an hour, do some chanting, and then we'll go into meditation. So it's going to be more meditation today. Today's meditation would be violet flame, and then we're going to just burn it all. That's it. But not only for ourselves, but also for humanity, of course. Because as you know, we all are children of Mother, Father, God, of the beautiful, beautiful Mother, of the beautiful Father. And their beauty is the love. And that love is happening right now in this very moment. It's always happening. It is that emanation that comes from Mother, Father, God, from, you can call them many names, Shiva, Shakti. And the way that it was revealed to me yesterday as well, as we were speaking about this, is that first you have the first emanation, which is almost, you would say, source. And you can call it many different names. You can call it Brahma. And then you have the emanation of the beautiful polarity of Mother, Father, God. Now, the way that I got to meet Divine Mother, she was the one that I met after meeting Source. But the first thing that I understand that led to all of this was first meeting a guru, an inner teacher. I prefer inner teacher because, you know, when they are not in this world anymore, they can deliver more. And I know that they all felt that way. You know, Yogananda felt that way. Sri Yukteswar knew that as well, of course. And Sri Kaleshwar, that when you are not in this world, you are not under the big burden that you see here, the burden of the 5 elements that have been misused as life force. So when they are on the inner planes, they can help us better, actually. They can teach us better. And so Yogananda, you know, I was his disciple for 2 years on the inner planes with maybe millions of us. I got to meet some of them, you know, face to face in the ethers. I was actually like working with human beings, you know, in the ethers, and we would meet and we would study with Yogananda in the ethers. It's very amazing. And I know that you probably are one of them too. Or, you know, like we all have different teachers who come to us. I firmly believe the best teachers are the teachers in the ethers who come to us because they see the resonance, they see our actually potential. And of course, none of these teachers really want to invest in, you know, like there are different layers, right? That, for example, you work with angels. That's the very good starting point. To me, that's like the beginning of, you know, expansion. You kind of harmonize yourself. And when you show your dedication, when you show up, then you keep going, expanding. You start harmonizing the personality self. You know, there's a lot that needs to be harmonized usually in the personality self. And then when you show more and more and more harmony within your being, you know, then the teachers come from kind of higher realms, higher levels. And even though, you know, they see you right now with all the potential, they kind of see the timelines that you contain within yourself. And of course, sometimes we fail them. You know, Yogananda, he could see the future of every student he had, of every disciple. And, you know, sometimes, even though he invested so much energy, so much time, and it really is about sponsoring someone energetically, even then, sometimes, you know, it happened that the student or the disciple didn't fulfill, you know, the highest purpose that they could have fulfilled. And so we want to be fulfilling the highest purpose in every moment. And so Yogananda taught us the 4 simple steps. You know, maybe they sound really simple, but they actually absolutely foundational. Number 1, purification. And the yogis, of course, I don't even want to call them yogis. These are divine beings. You know, we don't want to limit it to some kind of yoga. This is about, you know, our cosmic heritage, cosmic blueprint. We are all cosmic beings, and we are expanding always into more and more and more of cosmic consciousness, just like you see it here. The goal is, of course, not to be stagnant ever. The goal is to realize our fullest potential. And even when we realize that it goes beyond, because creation is always beyond. So Yogananda taught us those 4 steps. You know, I highly recommend just 5 minutes a day going through them. Number 1, purify your being in the living fire of God. Whatever you want to use it as, your imagination, a real fire, you know, having fire like a candle, maybe chanting some mantra that you love. I'll be speaking about mantras quite a bit in this lunar cycle and how to use them. You know, the mantras are really sacred words that empower us. They are very, very powerful. This is an internal process, but also it changes everything externally. And so the simple one that we all know, the most powerful, of course, Om. Om is going to be the one changing these realities. So whatever it is, you know, that you want to do with the purification, the fire is the most purifying out of the 5 elements, even though, of course, we have the element of water. But as you can imagine, fire is the ultimate power of transmutation. And so that's why we're going to have these solar events coming to planet Earth, you know, because they are transmuting us. They are transmuting humanity because we have a lot to transmute, and we are helping by doing the work. You know, this is not the time to be, like, you know, getting lazy about anything, because this is the time, this is the huge opportunity. Always think of your life as an infinite continuation. This is not the only lifetime, but this is the lifetime when we are ending this recycling kind of souls, you know, constantly coming back into the mess. We made a mess, but this is the lifetime to clean it up. This opportunity has not been with humanity, you know, ever since we got into the mess. And so this is the time to know this lifetime is so important. I would say this is one of the most important lifetimes we've ever had, ever, since we started to come to Mother Earth. And so this is wonderful, you know, this is not time for any kind of selfishness. This is time for to absolutely go beyond the boundaries of service to all that you are, to all that you can be, to the divinity, the highest potential. You know, if there is a higher potential, go for it. Always go for the higher potential of your own being, and you will know when you get there. And that is simply, you know, you let go of the that personality self, even though you still will have your uniqueness, it's okay. But the uniqueness is very different from the personality self. And we come into our divinity. This is our purpose. We're going to be doing that every single day. I don't see any other meaning to anything in this lifetime but to be the highest of the highest, to truly be the child of love in every single moment, and to be in complete surrender to this beautiful cosmic dream, and to care deeply for this beautiful dream. And so I recommend, I sent the email this morning, which has this image. I bought this picture actually. And so I thought, you know, if every morning you wake up and you look at it and you remind yourself of who you are, and to get there, we're going to get there fully and completely. I know some of you already are there. Some of you already see all of this. And then so it's okay. You know, this is a great reminder of every day's purpose. This is our purpose. You know, people think, what is my purpose? Well, your purpose is this. Your purpose is to embody all the light that is available to you from Mother, Father, God, from Source, and then to transmit it, not through will, not like, oh no, I need to transmit light now. No, you become a transmitter through your natural state of being. So I see, you know, the requests for healing and stuff, and the prayers and so on and so on. This is the work that we do here. You know, this energy that we create is very healing for this world. But I also want to say, with these solar energies that are coming in, these solar energies are making everybody be upgraded. And sometimes the upgrade, you know, is pushing the limits of our physicality. So as much as you can be breathing, drinking a lot of fresh water, eating, you know, fresh vegetables and fruit, and aligning yourself with the lightness that it's coming in, letting go of all the burdens. But as always, always being barefoot outside as much as you can, breathing and chanting. You know, the mantras are coming in so strongly right now that it is a very powerful tool for all of us to liberate whatever needs to be liberated. And so also it's good to know, you know, in this world, what happened in this world? In this world, what happened? One of the big things is the misunderstanding of death. And so as we misunderstood death, we find that death is kind of tragic. People say it's tragic, but is it really? So for those of you who have been out of body, who have had near-death experiences, you know actually that anytime we go away from here into these higher realms, we never ever want to come back. That's just really important to remember, because our truth is not this limited being in the body who is fearful of death. we need to have a new relationship also with that. But of course, there is disease, there is suffering, but that's why we do our transmutation. It's not that we are not compassionate, but we also need to expand the understanding of who we truly are. And so there is no death. There is really nothing that you would call death. It doesn't exist. So, I traveled out of body, I don't know if thousands of times, hundreds of times, but it's like a muscle. I always say that when you learn to use it, some people think it's imagination, and I want to say, no, it's a city. It's a gift that we all have. Some of us came with it, some of us develop it, some of us never actually really develop it, but that's okay. Any which way, it's not the point of life. It simply is a very powerful tool. For example, Sri Kaleshwar, that we worked with quite a bit, and we will work with him again and again and again, as he's very dominant right now as someone who's assisting humanity. He actually was also profusely traveling out of body, and he was visiting many different worlds. It was his way of actually going to what we call the company of heaven that we actually looked at yesterday. So I call it the pantheon of gods. You can call it the company of heaven. I just have two pictures here, really. They are a little silly, but it's good to know what the company of heaven is. And when we go out of body, actually consciously, really consciously, I do it consciously. I always teach it how to do it consciously. It's actually absolutely beyond anything. I know that for those of you who have done it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But you actually learn that there's a muscle within you. When you learn to operate your nervous system, when you learn to operate your muscles, when you learn to operate your skeleton too, then you use this amazing skill to actually go out of body into your super conscious self. And the super conscious self is the one who is way beyond any limitations of this human being. And so you get to know yourself as someone much, much, much more expanded. Thank you. Thank you, Melissa. I definitely can go back to the 4 steps. And so when you travel out of body, you get to see quite a bit of what creation is, our place in it, and our missions, and so on and so on. And so I actually want to thank you, Melissa, go back to the steps. So Yogananda taught us those 4 steps, and really they are 5 steps, but let's take a look at them. Number 1 is a purification. Purification is really essential in the world that is so dirty, and it is dirty because of everything that humanity is thinking in this very moment. Tell me, in this very moment, what do you think? How many people are having thoughts that are actually not using life force, which is so precious, with love? I'm guessing the majority, right? And so this is adding to the layer upon layer upon layer. And we need to stop doing that, but it's not going to happen just like this. We need to learn, number 1, and remember, because we have immense responsibility. So that's why the purification step with the fire was so important. The second step that Yogananda taught us, didn't want to say me, is to work with the Angelic Queendom and to go into these higher realms, to dig the hole through this. And he taught us a process, which, we recorded on YouTube. There are the steps where you actually do need to rise above this, to go through the tunnel. That's why we move upwards, and that's why when people have near-death experience, they see all this darkness, because they have to move through this first. And so you go into the Angelic Queendom, and in the Angelic Queendom, you work with these incredible, beautiful beings who are so, it could be you actually, you could be working in the Angelic Queendom as an angel. And so you go and you receive the gift of light. These beings are so selfless, so giving, and they just wait for us. They really do wait for us to come to them and say, I'm ready, give me the light. And that's why we often work with receiving light and working with increasing your inner light. It is the key. So that's the next step. Then after that, we connect with our soul body. So you can see the soul body as many different things, but this rainbow body kind of also could be, in a way, your soul body. The soul body is really individualized. It is much smaller than the spirit body, and it is within the spirit body. And so Yogananda was actually just teaching us to first explore our soul, really get to know your soul body. And then to go to the spirit body is much, much, much bigger. It is actually almost, it seems like infinite. And it is connecting us to this beautiful, beautiful blueprint in which we are all one part of this. We are fractals. We are what, people call the I am presence. And as you can see, it's, the individualized being is the fractal, but we belong into this oneness of creation. And so that was the next thing Yogananda was teaching us, to connect with the spirit body. And again, for me, it took 2 years to explore. That's a long time, actually, when you think in human terms, or short time, I don't know. But definitely it was a daily exploration. What is your spirit? What is your soul? And learning within your being the incredible power that you have. One of the really important things that I learned from the soul was that actually, without connecting with the soul, we don't really have true free will. The free will, really, we can tap into within the soul. And so that's why it's so, so important to go and explore your soul. And it's not that the soul is right here with you at all times. The soul has its own life, which is hard to imagine. The soul is also a dreamer like you, and you are one of the dreams of your soul. And so that's why we need to explore it, the structure of who we are, our own structure. When we really get to know the soul, when we really get to know that amazing, amazing big body within the spirit, then we unlock our ability to truly be co-creators. Until then, we are this little human being here, kind of random, and so we also have a lot of what people call karma, which is just all that you saw here as the layers upon layers upon layers of all the thoughts that we thought without love, all the feelings that we generated without love, all the words we said without love, all the actions we took without love. So it's really simple if we want it to be, right? And so to me, the greatest description to find of your soul and spirit is to go within, do the meditation, do the process with Yogananda, and show up every day and say, guide me to my soul. Soul, sometimes the soul is not really paying attention to the human. It's also kind of fun. We go through different rhythms, as everything in nature is a rhythm. Sometimes the soul is really focused on higher worlds. Sometimes the soul focuses on us. And so we call and call and call through our meditation, and so once we go through this process, we gain power through our own self-realization. To me, the best teacher is not a teacher on the outside, but the teacher on the inside. And that's why, for example, the inner guru guides us. And then we are guided to whom? Divine Mother. Divine Mother is going to be the next one after we work with our inner guru, best guru, because the gurus here in this world on the outside, very often they, I don't know, but I've seen some gurus who I would say, maybe not so leading to Divine Mother, maybe leading to other things. But that's again, just, what I've seen in this world. So it's good to go to the inner guru, and it could be someone that already walked the path here on this earth. And so these gurus, for example, like Yogananda, for example, like Sri Kalashwar, they lead us to our self-realization with Divine Mother. Now, Divine Mother, who is the Divine Mother? Again, I say Divine Mother takes on so many different forms. She has her many ways. She speaks to all of us in this world. She has nothing to do with the Indian tradition. She's a cosmic being, but she's the being who truly is the one who moves things to create. To me, Divine Mother, when I first started to meet with her, I even called her kind of obsessed with creation. I thought, this girl, she is obsessed with creating. Sometimes she's called Shakti, right? That's one of the names you can give her, because she is this massive life force. When people speak about Kundalini, and I don't like the word, because to me, it is actually Divine Mother within us. It is her life force within us. And so within us is the life force. And this life force has been asleep And so what we are truly awakening, we are not awakening some, Kundalini, really. We are awakening the divine mother within the body. And when she wakes up, you start feeling the energy. You start feeling the liberation. She burns the karma. That is also the Kriya Yoga to me, what Yogananda taught. And that is also the process that Sadhguru teaches, the inner engineering. And so we really have the goal to awaken the mother within us. Now, this is a whole new world. We have to know, if you follow teachings that were given to us, maybe before 2012, those teachings might need to be rewritten. And that's why it's a good idea to go within and find the inner guru that will lead us to Divine Mother. Because now the Divine Mother is here. Now the Divine Mother is the energy awakening in every single one of us. And the big, big, big breakthrough came in 2019. It was a huge breakthrough. And, for me, it's like when I see into the ethers, it was like being in a science fiction movie since 2019. And so what is unfolding here is so big that none of the teaching given to us 2000 years ago, 100 years ago, 50 years ago might fully be applicable. I'm not saying all of it, but a lot of it, because what came in 2019, specifically 2019, was a breakthrough for all of us. In 2020, unbelievable stuff happened to all of us. We all were downloaded with our true divine self. The divine self is within us now, and it is within all of us, and we are just now adjusting. One of the things that is adjusting is the body. And why is that? It is because the body itself is a creation of the 5 elements, and the 5 elements are the elements through which Divine Mother creates all things within her creation. The Shiva energy is very different. As I said, for me, the Shiva is like a new thing. I got to meet Shiva for the first time really on the 5th of February. So again, like it's all here available to all of us. But Shiva is a very different presence from Divine Mother. And yet, of course, they are both one. And so one consciousness guiding us through different actually tools. So what Divine Mother told me is that the Shiva consciousness is more like holding space for her to expand into. She is the one who creates. She takes the 5 elements and she creates cosmos with them. And Shiva is just like the presence that holds it all, just open arms for her, and she expands, and she just expands. And so here we are. If all the images of the goddess are cosmic beings, why they are adopted in Hinduism. So Merlin, I explain it this way. I got to see what we call the company of heaven. Patricia calls it the company of heaven. You can call it whatever you want. It simply is that Divine Mother is a certain conscious cosmic energy that emanates from source. And she used to be visible to our ancient civilizations. And because she used to be visible, they could depict her as what we today call the Shakti, but it had nothing to do with Hinduism itself, with Indian tradition. Simply, there was a civilization that was able to see her, and I think this was the Golden Age. Now, during Atlantis, for example, I saw that there is an emanation. Divine Mother creates gods and goddesses, by the way. And this is important to say. We are minuscule being. And again, I don't want to offend anyone. Maybe you are a goddess too, a god. But there are very, very large beings in creation. And I got to see them. I got to see them actually for the first time. And I will tell you before we go into meditation, on the 21st of May, 2021, when we all got to see them. It was one of those nights. Please do remember this date because it happened to all of us. There was a divine baptism for humanity that took place on the 21st of May, 2021. And Patricia Cota Robles, she spoke about it. She was there with us. I could see them all. And we met, all of us as humanity, with what Patricia calls the company of heaven. So whatever you want to call them, all of them, you would see. Yes, Lucrecia, absolutely. That day was unbelievable. Humanity got baptized as a whole that day. And so we all kind of came out of body to be there in person, face to face, whether we remember it or not. And you could see all the pantheon of gods. You could see the what we call the Egyptian beings. We could see the Atlantean beings. We could see the Christ beings. We could see what we would call all these Hindu gods, you know. And let's take away the labels. That is cosmic creation with all the gods and goddesses as very large cosmic beings. And then, of course, you know, it's all stepping down, everything's stepping down. You can call it the hierarchy, right? That's why we have ascended masters. That's why we have all these different layers of creation, you know, it's amazing. And whether we give it names or not, you know, that night, all the Taras, all the Buddhas, also came, you know, they all came from every single what we would call tradition. And if you take away the tradition, you get to see, oh, so these are the cosmic beings. What you see here, you know, it's kind of looks like, what would you call this? Maybe the Greek gods, I don't know. But at the same time, the same thing, you know, just different names, but the same beings, they all exist. And so where do we go for this? And so Divine Mother, she is the one who creates, and Divine Father is more the stillness, the incredible love. And together they truly are the power. And when we connect to both of them, of course, now it's the time to do it. Now it's the time to have a balanced relationship with Mother, Father, God. And again, you know, I don't insist at all that they will look like this to you too. And that's why we explore each other. So the steps, once again, is purification, then increasing your inner light, then working with your soul body, then working with the spirit body. And then the final step is actually merging with Divine Mother, with Divine Father, and getting to explore them, since we all have this access. I'd like to empower everyone to do the work that it takes to get to this place, because then what happens? To me, this seems like, oh yeah, finally arrived. This must be it. But no, that's the beginning of all things. When we remember who we are, when we remember who everyone is within this creation, when we let go of the nonsense, you know, that is simply saying, okay, I finally am who I was meant to be. And from here on, I can actually start living differently. And so how do we want to live from here on? Well, number one, let us first purify. This week will be all about purification. And just one more thing before we go into this meditation. Definitely, if you have the time, join us every day, because tomorrow we'll be working again with purification of the elements. We'll be purifying the elements within us. That actually is so, so important, because as you know, we need to get through this. We need to get through whatever is the burden. Sometimes we have a little burden, sometimes we have a big one, you know, but even if we have a little one, we'll take on someone else, because we are all here to help each other. And that's why, for example, the yogis, the gurus, and the mystics, they always took on a lot of this to transmute it themselves, because they knew the importance of this. They knew the power of this. Tomorrow, so all the meditation dates and times are posted on the website. Usually it is 11 a.m. Pacific and 5 p.m. Pacific. Replays are always on YouTube, but without the meditations themselves, of course. And I will be updating the times and dates every day, but usually it's both times, sometimes only once a day. So definitely take a look. And so with that, my dear friends, let us go to do the work. Let us surround ourselves with the violet flame, the transmuting flame. Let us go within. This meditation is actually for free on orenanddaben.com, so everyone can do it and all the time. And you will know when you have transmuted everything, because then you know your life actually becomes a reflection of your perfection. And so, you know, it's just simply getting there. And so we are going. So here it is. Thank you for clearing yourself. Thank you for taking the power back into your own hearts. and then transmuting it all. The power is within us. Divine confidence is within us. With this divine confidence, all is possible. And so, you know, where do we get the divine confidence from? We get it from what we are meant to be. And, you know, all that we are actually comes from this source of creation, which is, as you can see, divine source and our divine mother, divine father. Again, the names do not matter. You know, divine mother has been called, you know, Shakti. She's been called Sophia, Shekinah. It doesn't matter, but she is life force. And so she is within you. This week will be big because this life force is awakening in all of us. Our cells have been purified and are being purified. Our blood is being purified and has been purified since 2019. We are changing on the cellular level. All these beings, when I see them, when they come to us in the middle of the night, you know, they're working on our physicality so that we can embody the spirit properly, so that we can become our divine self once again and delete, you know, the sub-personality self, which was not really our true self. And so this is amazing. This week will be huge. We'll be going into deep purification every single day so that we can become transparent. As you can imagine, what always stands in the way is the burden of the personality self and all the other energies. And so, as Patricia always teaches, we have to call for assistance from this realm. And the reason for this is this, you know, to be heard, we call the powers in. And so today I'm going to introduce one little chant for all of you, if you wish to chant. For example, simply chanting Ma, Ma 9 times calls in the mother. This is a powerful chant. 9 times, that's all it takes. 9 times just Ma, Ma. That's why babies say mama. It's the sound of water. It's the sound of our mother. And so Ma, Ma 9 times. And that calls the sweetness of the mother in. And again, here we are, her children, fulfilling our purpose. Please know the strength, confidence, miracle. She is the mother of miracles, by the way. So I see the, you know, request for healing. Talk to the mother. Talk to the mother. Whatever is her will, so shall be. She burns all the karma. When she comes in, she burns all the karma. She will come into your body. She will rise fully and completely, just like, you know, Yogananda taught in Kriya Yoga. She actually deletes all our karma. So invite her in to do that, because enough is enough. This meditation is for free. You can see it on Oren and Daban. You go to the free on their website. It's a meditation room. First, they have the short meditations and they have the longer meditations, all free for you to download. And tomorrow we'll continue our journey. There will be today, again, please do repeat if you have the time. Of course, the more you do, the better it gets. Of course, it's a purification. So 5 p.m. today. And I believe tomorrow we only have 5 p.m. So it's going to be just one event tomorrow. So thank you so much for being in service so beautifully. Thank you.